We have two different ways of approaching Scripture in these two sections. Right? So in Mark 12, we get these stories back to back for a couple of different reasons probably. But the one I want to pay attention to is the way they each decide to use Scripture sort of for their purposes. Okay? So as we're doing this, the first group approaches Jesus. You have this in Mark 12 right here, right? And they say, hey, Jesus, we have this problem. We have this sort of tricky question we can get from Moses, right? We've read Moses, and Moses says that if a husband and wife are alive and the husband dies and they don't have kids, then that husband's brother needs to take that wife in and marry the wife, right? Now, this is an outdated system that we don't really follow and are super uncomfortable with. But it's the premise of their question, right? And the question goes, so if that happens a bunch of times over and they never have any kids, who is the lady married to in the resurrection? Now remember, they're asking this question of Jesus because they don't believe in the resurrection. So this question is about showing Jesus how dumb the resurrection is, right? It's like, you can't really believe in the resurrection because look at Moses' law, and it has all these rules in it that automatically undoes the resurrection, right? So see how silly this is? That's kind of the tone of this question. Jesus does not respond kindly to them, right? His response to them is, you're wrong. He says it like right off, like you almost never see Jesus do this, but he says right off the bat, you're wrong. And you're wrong for two reasons. You don't know the Scriptures, and you don't know the power of God. Guess what? Don't be wrong on those two counts, right? This is a dangerous spot to live in if you don't know either the Scriptures or the power of God. That's problematic all the way around. And this is their job to know the Scriptures, right? So Jesus pushes back on them and says, you actually don't even know what you're talking about with the Moses law.